crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, Brad Bedell, your name says hoping to make it to week 2 down at the Circus Survivor. It should have said moving on to week 5, bleepers, because here we are moving on. Brad Bedell, I got the hat on, by the way, as we do every Monday, our quick little update. Both Brad Bedell, Kent Riddle, their team, my two teams, Travis Hawks, Jake Forsyth, a couple buddies. We are moving on as well, thanks to the Houston Texans, right, Brad? You are still alive for the $18 million in Survivor.
Yep, Houston Texans, dominating fashion. So here we go.
Are you counting the money yet? Do you know, is your wife, already kind of putting divvying up where she's going to spend it?
No. It's this is a hard week. This one's a tough one. We're just looking at the games and all that. There'll be one though. You got to wait for the injury reports to come out because there's some linemen that got hurt. So you have to see the injury report before you get on this one.
I got the hat on here as I do every Monday when our team advances. Now, One of the teams I'm looking at is the Indianapolis Colts, and I'll be hopefully in attendance at that game on Sunday against Ashton Jeanty and the Raiders. So I don't know if that'd be a good thing or a bad thing, Brad, to have my Survivor pick going and be in the crowd watching Ashton Jeanty against the Colts next Sunday.
Yeah, and boy, he's had a game, or he had a game last game.
He did. I wasn't going to start with that, but maybe we might as well and should. Ashton Jeanty, 3 touchdowns. Khalil Shakir had a big 40-plus yard touchdown as well, shedding a couple tacklers and staying in bounds down the sideline. That was one of the first touchdowns of the whole NFL Sunday yesterday, and that was good to see. And but yeah, well, Jeanty, 3 touchdowns. Somewhere Ryan Clark is still saying it wasn't good enough. But I mean, he's a rookie. It just takes a little bit of time, and I don't think anybody is surprised. I mean, on both of the receiving touchdowns, too. I mean, I know they were kind of short passes, but he had to either make a nice catch or shed a blocker or stay up or a tackler both times. I mean, those were not just walk-in receiving touchdowns either. He made all those look a lot easier than they were. Obviously, the 64-yard rushing touchdown was the most impressive one, but career day to this point for Ashton Jeanty, and I think we all knew it would come eventually, but nice for others to finally see it.
No doubt. And he had the one fumble, but that's not on him. I mean, the center went the wrong way, let the nose straight through. So he had a nice game. I mean, you're starting to see it. You got to get more comfortable as games played in that league. And then, Ryan Clark, he's going to say whatever he wants. It's the same guy that said that Tom Brady's not a generational talent. So what are we doing? So he can have diarrhea in the mouth all he wants. I mean, the greatest thing about Jeanty is just shows the character of him. When they asked him in the press, he goes, "Yeah, I heard it. I don't care what he says. I'm just going to play my game of football. We're going to play Raider football." And so it just goes to testament. He's not going to get into the tit for the tat with him. And, Ryan Clark played in the NFL a long time and all that stuff. But sometimes you just need to kind of sit back and be quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a hot take world. It's a hot take world right now. You want to say the comments and get the clicks and the views, but literally anyone that watched him at all in college knew there was literally zero truth. Like, it just wasn't true what he was saying, and it just was factually wrong. And then if you watch the first couple of games, even the fumble, he had the fumble right early in this game or in the game against the Bears, where literally 2 guys hit him. Like, the second he gets the handoff, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And I joked, like, oh, I'm sure Ryan Clark's blaming that one on Ashton Jeanty too. Like, I mean, it just was just so weird to something weird to say. And because it was just, if you were watching, it was just flat out wrong. And he was averaging more, yards after contact than yards. Like, he was literally averaging getting hit by line, and then some say, well, you should be able to do some with a bad line, whatever. But I mean, even on the 64-yard touchdown run, it wasn't like it was wide open. There were a couple of missed blocks there that he had to get through and get through the line of scrimmage. But as we all know, I mean, that was kind of the classic Boise State Ashton Jeanty run. Just get through that first wave, get through the line of scrimmage, get into some open space, and you can make guys miss. And you knew that last guy wasn't going to have a chance to bring him down there. And but yeah, the whole Ryan Clark thing was just weird because it was just wrong.
Ooh, flat out wrong. I mean, so that's just something that never watched a film, never saw it. So Ashton Jeanty never ran through contact at Boise State. I mean, it's almost hard to even have a conversation or even talk about something when you are so factually wrong, and he says it, and then they question about it, and you just dig in your heels, right? I mean, the other thing is, I think the more of the not a knock on it, but a lot of people just question what's his long speed, right? Does he have breakaway speed in the National Football League? Well, he outrun everybody for the 65-yarder, right? Broke that tackle. A guy tried to gator tackle him, get his heel, and he couldn't. It's just so now it's the same people that are somebody's gonna say it on ESPN or somewhere, like, oh, maybe Jackson Dart could be the Rookie of the Year because he went and beat the Chargers, right? It's just not. I mean, he did all that because Scotto had a really good game. Yep. And it just comes down to offensive line, that 1 4th down. But Jeanty got over 100 yards first time. That's a huge accomplishment. Yeah. And touchdowns. It's just, I don't understand why people jump the gun so fast and call people busts when it takes time. It just takes time. And especially a position like that has so much to do, right? Protection wise, even late in the game, he had to drive back on a protection late in the game. Great pickup, balls out, complete, and all that. Those are the other things that don't go talked about. I mean, that's because he's an all-around back. He's not just a first down, second down back, and all of a sudden third down. Oh, he's a liability in protection, so let's not play him.
Now the run there on the when we were talking about when he got hit back and fumbled it, Mike M says the center pulling while the nose tackle is lined up in front of him is diabolical. As an O-line coach, what did you think on that the blocking scheme on that play where he got hit in the backfield and fumbled the ball?
The center went directly left. I don't understand, and it looked like they were running duo because the right guard went strictly in for the double team. The center takes off left. Did he pull or was he blocking back and he thought it was power? I don't know. And then the nose sets it up, and then the linebacker just cleans it out, and that's what caused the fumble. So, it's sadly it happens. People up front make mistakes, and that's a big mistake on a pivotal down. So, the Raiders they're going to get going. I actually like I like the Raiders. I like the head coach. I like everything like that. It's just the good teams in the league, the Niners, all that, they invest in offensive linemen to protect the quarterback and the running back. And you have to in that league because in that league, you can't take that many shots. That's the one thing over the length. There's a reason why running backs are the really good ones. Sometimes they only go 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Especially in the older days where there was no personal foul for targeting, the NFL targeting, right? So I think he's fine. I think Ryan Clark's a moron, and I can just move on from that.
Now, against my better judgment, I'm going to put this up here on the screen here. He did have the stance back. The stance was back, Brad Bedell, the Ashton Jeanty stance. And according to Chip Kelly being asked about it after the game, he said it's only 3 inches. Literally about 3 inches. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Is 3 inches that big of a deal, Brad?
Depends who you talk to. Okay, hold on now. Then let me do this. Then why didn't he have that when he corrected it? Then why wouldn't he say, hey, 3 inches isn't really a big deal. We're just going to let him what he did in college. So let's not have, that's a complete backtrack. Oh, we had a 100-yard game. Well, it's only 3 inches, so we're just going to let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah, he acted like that was not the reason. And we all know that's probably not actually the reason, but it's just kind of funny that he lets him do it again. He has a huge game, and then he says, oh, well, that had nothing to do with it. So why did you not let him do it to begin with, is what you're saying?
Exactly. Whatever. Chip Kelly needs to just call plays and be quiet.
Is it, this may be a dumb question, but he's literally just, whether he's leaned over or not, is it at all different for him to see if he's standing up? Is he higher up to see over the line for protection or anything? Or is there anything possibly to it? Or is it just a swagger mental thing?
No, it's something for him. I don't know if he can see better, but okay, you drafted the young man at 6 overall. So obviously you loved what he did in college. So now all of a sudden you get to the National Football League and go, oh, your stance sucks. I'm changing it. No, you drafted me at 6 for a reason. So let me do this is my opinion on it. Do what the player is comfortable doing, right? If you just said it's not a big deal, then just do. He's comfortable doing it. He's done it for years. So just let him do it. He doesn't have false footwork out of it. He doesn't have any of the false stuff. So it's not interrupting the mesh. It's not interrupting the protections or anything like that. So just let him do it. I don't understand why we have to, change things when you're the one who's paying him multiple millions of dollars. So just let him do what he wants to do.
Was it like hey, this is, I'm your OC. This is the NFL now. This ain't college. Like, was he trying to just put a little, hey, rookie kind of come back to earth moment, or why else would he have done it?
Probably, or that's what they do in the National Football League, right? It's just like, no, this is a running back stance in the National Football League. It's like the National Football League. You throw it on first down, you're guaranteed to run it on second down, and then you're going to throw it on third down, you're going to punt. I mean, how many times did you see that yesterday? It's the way it's a league that is very traditional, and running backs don't do that. I mean, look at how long it took the NFL to get zone read going. It took, oh my God. And it killed the NFL. Tim Tebow ran a lot. And it took them that long to come around and go, oh, maybe zone read. Oh, the DNs can stop them both. Well, not really. You can't take two people at once.
No. Khalil Shakir also getting in the end zone. I know he missed most of the preseason with an ankle injury, but nice to see Khalil Shakir get in the end zone as well for the Bills.
Yeah, he's just really good. And
was he there when you were there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people in Boise, sometimes when you see it, Brad, at Boise State or in college, you're not sure how that's going to translate to the NFL. But I think, like, especially with how he never dropped, the lack of drops, and like those first year or two when he kept moving up the depth chart and people kept around the country or whatever were like surprised. I think a lot of people in Boise were like, no, we saw this pretty much every game. Like, he doesn't drop it. He finds the ways to get open. Maybe he isn't the fastest receiver out there, but he's shifty and finds holes in the zone or wherever. And I don't think anybody in Boise is at all surprised by this. Was that? What was kind of were you having any conversation with scouts about him or what?
No, the one thing that they all asked is he did not have breakaway speed, right? He does. I mean, Shaq's not your 4.2 guy. What people didn't realize is how much preparation he put into a game. That's where he finds the holes. That's where he studies DBs. He has an understanding of to find the holes in zone. Releases, are they an inside jam hand? Are they an outside jam hand? Things like that. Where Shaq excelled was preparation. And when you get to know your opponent as much as Shaq got to know his opponents, that's where his success came. And look at the National Football League. I mean, he finds the holes. He finds the zones. He sits it down immediately. The ball's on him now. He has the trust of the quarterback knowing, okay, I know exactly where he's going to be because of the preparation he put into it. The same thing you saw at Boise State is what you're seeing for the Bills. Hence why they gave him a $60 million contract, I think it was. Yeah. I mean, he deserves everything just because you want to talk about a young man, and they all did. Like a lot of the Boise State guys, I can go through a giant list. Leighton Vander Esch, that guy was a machine when it comes to preparation. And that's why a lot of the Boise State kids have great transitions because of the preparation and what was demanded on them way before any I got there. I mean, Pete, all those guys, all the running backs, they just prepared. And that's why I think you see a lot of the Boise State kids have success because the preparation that they put in that was demanded on them at Boise State transfers over to the NFL very well.
Surf City Bill, back to the Jeanty stance. It's like telling Shohei Ohtani to change his batting stance. Foolish.
Oh, exactly. Or, yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So,
I'm glad to know you were on the Texans too, by the way, because I was watching that game on my big screen at my house yesterday, and I told my wife, I said, we got to be the only people in Boise that have the Texans and the Titans on the big screen here in Boise, Idaho. And then I thought, well, unless John Ojuku's family's watching, he's on the Titans still, I believe. Correct. But you guys may have had it on as well, so maybe there were a couple households here.
Yeah, we had it on, and then of course you have to have the Browns game on here, and that's just you just wake up saying, I hope they win. And then it's like, no, you got no chance. Move on.
Well, good week for Boise State alumni in the NFL. We keep track of that at BroncoNationNews.com. There is a tab there in the message boards that says Broncos in the NFL, and we update that every week with kind of how they're doing and what their outlook is for this week. So if you're trying to track all of the, it's 10 plus. I think it's 13. There's others, obviously. Those are the two highlights that I saw, the two main ones, but there's certainly more linemen and other players from Boise State in the league. I know Ezra, right? Your boy with the picture behind you.
Yeah, Jacksonville. He's doing well. John Ojuku's got some PT for Tennessee. There's a lot of. I mean, San Fran. He's doing really early. Commanders. I think. Yeah, that's where
McNichols.
Yeah,
Commanders.
I mean, was it that week ago? He had an unbelievable game. I mean, it's just there's a lot of guys out there that are doing well coming out of Boise State, and that's why you're having guys drafted every year.
Well, folks can go again, check that out at BroncoNationNews.com. All right, the win over App State, got the Notre Dame coming up. A lot to talk to about here on Bronco Nation News locally with the current Boise State team, but our title sponsor is RoePaint.com, ROEPaint.com, all your painting needs, whether it's those interior, exterior, painting projects. Hit up RoePaint.com, the concrete coatings as well, and we may check in with our man Andy Rowe later in the show as well. RoePaint.com. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Saw Pearson Carmichael out there passing out some rally towels before the game with the ICCU logo on them. So ICCU, happy to have them back on board with Boise State as an official sponsor. You see some of the NIL deals they have as well. So they just do a ton for the community. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile eBranch online banking. Make the switch today. Idaho Central Credit Union, online at ICCU.com. Had fun last Thursday doing our show out at Taco Bell. Be back there shortly. TacoBellWorks.com. That's the website for the Nicolason family, the SON Management Group. You can find more information on all the great stuff they're doing in the locally owned Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. And we got flag football, pitching lesson, all kinds of stuff tonight. So it'll probably be another Taco Bell night. Kids loving Taco Bell and all the great things they have right now. So, and it's funny, they have all these great tacos, nachos, all these burritos, and it's just the little cheesy roll-ups that are my kids' favorites. So you'll find something there at Taco Bell for anybody. TacoBellWorks.com. Again, the website. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. Hey, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. They got that Boise State gear, the coach's sideline apparel, the new 208 Front Porch of Idaho gear. Check them out at the Blue and Orange Store. You can go down there, and Brad, we were talking about it last week, but the cool thing with NIL now is they literally have a printer down there at the Hall of Fame location, and within 5-10 minutes, literally any player on the Boise State roster, you can have a personalized jersey made of him. So Dylan Riley has his big game. All of a sudden on Monday, they're selling Dylan Riley jerseys in the Blue and Orange Store. Maybe it was a Quentin Brown, the freshman, with his touchdown the other night, or some of the other guys that had big games. You can go on in and get a jersey made of Quentin Brown or whoever else you'd like from the game the other day. And it's that easy. So the Blue and Orange Store down at the Boise State Hall of Fame, or online anywhere in the world at theblueandorangestore.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, their fall kickoff sale. They're donating money for pancake blocks for Cage Casey. They're also matching goals and assists with a donation for Kenzie McMillan, the soccer player, for her charity. So they're doing great things in the community, and we appreciate them. Never a better time to buy a new or pre-owned Ford vehicle. Get out to Lithia Ford of Boise today. Brad, by the way, we had Latrell Caples. His new commercial is out, and we can finally say it. Here it is.
Bronco Nation, when I score, Jackson pours. Each game I score a touchdown, head to Jackson's on Monday for a 49-cent fountain drink with Let's Go rewards. And don't forget your free banana, Jackson's. Let's go.
That is today at Treasure Valley Jackson's locations. Not one, but 2 touchdowns for Latrell Caples. And no, you don't get to take, another half price off. 49 cents. You have to use the Let's Go Rewards app, I believe, but 49 cents is your any size fountain drink at Jackson's. And typically it's like $1.69, I think, for the big one. I know you were joking on the post-game show that Coach Ridd keeps them in business by themselves with the Diet Cokes there from Jackson's, but any size fountain drink, 49 cents today at Treasure Valley at Jackson's locations, thanks to Latrell Caples. We knew it would happen eventually, Brad. He was kind of in it. Some games he's been a bigger target than others, but he gets in the end zone twice. Another nice game for Latrell.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we've said it. So now I think I worry about taking away him, and now they got to focus on Marshall. It's a really nice 1-2 punch that you're seeing right now, and I think equally are getting some catches, but you can only double team and only really concentrate on one. And it looks like if they're going to try to take Marshall away, Latrell's taking the game over. If they're going to try to take Latrell away, you got Marshall ready to take the game over. So it's a nice 1-2 punch, and I'm really happy to see Jackson's finally running out of Diet Coke or anything else soda today.
Get over to Jackson's again, 49-cent any size fountain drink today, courtesy of Jackson's, with Latrell Caples getting in the end zone. What else stood out to you from that game against? We have a voicemail I want to play at some point here. Let's just do that first. Let's play the voicemail. Jesse, appreciate you. I see you in the chat there as well. We didn't get to it on. There's a lot going on there on the post-game show, Brad. We got folks talking to Kent. We got all kinds of stuff going on. It's kind of a free-for-all there on the post-game show, but we got a couple of voicemails. We were unable to kind of get them loaded up into the system. I don't even know if you guys could have heard them because you didn't have headsets on. So here is Jesse, and I think I'm going to mute myself to eliminate the echo. I forget how we did this last time. Somebody can give us a thumbs up if this starts playing correctly, but it's a 2-parter from Jesse here, and then we'll discuss, Brad.
Okay.
All right, here it is. I publicly apologize to Demario Warren. His group stepped up today and stepped up big. Boise hasn't had that good of a passing defense in quite a while. I haven't seen that, and it definitely looked good out there today. How about the younger guys, though, on defense? They're looking really solid, too. But I just got to say that I promised it, and I said I would. So this is my public apology to Demario Warren. I'll let you coach, and I'll just sit on the couch and cheer on Boise State. Let's do the same thing against Notre Dame if we can, huh? But I looked up the stat for interceptions and for having pick sixes for 2 in a game for Boise State, and the last time it happened was in December 2014 against San Diego State. Correa and Dion both had pick sixes in that game. So, yeah, it was a good game, Boise, and I did not expect that. But, hey, I'm glad you all proved me wrong, and I'm glad Demario Warren stepped up. So I ain't going to be coming after his job for quite a bit after this performance. He's got some time after this.
There you go. Part 1 from Jesse. Demario Warren, the cornerbacks, the pass defense, much aligned, much criticized. Number 3 passing offense in the nation. Now, we did preface that by saying, I like how you and Rid like to take small shots at me too, and I'm not on the postgame, so like you don't think I ever go back and watch it. We put stats out there. Yes, they were number 3 in the country. I never said I was worried about their passing attack. We're just pointing out stats. We're showing some things that are out there. They came into this game number 3 in the nation in passing, number 11 in total offense. But we did, I think, say they've played Charlotte, Lindenwood, and Southern Miss, and that was definitely mentioned throughout the weekend on the pregame show. So I think we were trying to say, like, yeah, they have a good offense. They haven't really played anybody. Let's see what happens today. But it was an area where Boise State had struggled against, and you can only go off what you see. And they held Appalachian State to 65 yards passing, 174 yards, I think 2 yards in the fourth quarter or something like that, and so give them credit. Yeah, 2 pick sixes, 4 turnovers. It's App State. There's a long way to go. It's going to be a much different challenge. Maybe having a much different conversation this time next Monday. But for this week, for this game, hats off to the pass defense, the secondary, the whole defense. They stepped up.
There's no doubt. I mean, it's like, I said it on the postgame show. I've been critical of it. And when you're critical of something and it's proven that they got better this game, you have to give them credit. I mean, that's not. You can't keep on beating a dead horse when they come out with 65 yards passing. And now, okay, we can go back to who they played. I agree, they played horrible teams. I don't even know if their schedule has their opponents don't even have a winning record. So that's okay. But anyways, there's a lot of teams that couldn't throw for 404 yards on air in practice. Somebody dropped the ball. I mean, it's just you have to give them credit. Now, I did think, watching that game, and I didn't hit this very much on the post game, is I give Appalachian State some credit. They came out in that first drive and they were running the ball, right? So I think that's the one thing about it. I think Boise State came out in some more too high or some more passing-oriented defensive schemes, and so they ran the ball. And then all of a sudden you get out of that and you go to a little bit more heavier box, and I thought the corners answered it. And you have to give them credit. You have to give the coaching staff credit, Schneider credit. Everybody's got to get credit. Whenever you throw the ball for 65 yards, that they need the credit. Now, sacked him 5 times. The quarterback was running for his life. And we talk about, and I've said this multiple times, if you can get the quarterback off the spot and get him rolling around and scrambling and running and all that, it just helps the DB. So you got to give I thought it was a complimentary game on defense between the front 7, making the quarterback very uncomfortable, and then the DBs covered. And then so it was a great game. There's a really good game by the defense, and that's all you got. You can talk about the next game. Next game's Notre Dame, right? I mean, we can get into that when you want to, but you got to give the last game, I give them a lot of credit. And that's the one thing. The 2 things that stood out to me is, number one, defensively was the pass defense and the way the front 7 played. Period. Awesome. The other one is Mad Dog came out and was ready to play. He threw it, slung it around, played well. for somebody, a guy who says you guys aren't going to run the ball on us, Boise rushed for 154, I believe it was. Now 3.5 a carry. You'd like to have that over 4, but that's okay. It's a half a yard.
152.
152. And so they had a 3.5 carry or average, which is fine. Like I said, that 4 is is the sweet spot where you want to hit it. That's the goal, right? Whenever you get off the game Sunday, look at it, go, okay, we rushed for 152, but the 3.5 yards a carry, we kind of wish we'd had a little bit more out of that. So, but it was a very solid run game that opened up the pass. And when you're getting people involved, right? Multiple receptions by different players, right? And they were explosive at times. So I think it was good. I thought the running backs,
hold on. We'll get back to the offense in a minute. Let's stay on the defense for a second. Eric Chenander being on the sidelines. I know you guys mentioned it briefly on the post-game show. I noticed that during the game. I was just looking down at the bench in the first half, and I was like, "Oh, that's Eric. That sure looks like Eric Chenander." And I triple-checked with Boise State, and they're like, "Yeah, this is his first game. He's on the field for this game." What's your take on that? And we're not saying that's like the single reason why all of a sudden the defense had, maybe its best game of the season, but for a D coordinator to kind of be down there on the field and be able to look some of those guys in the eye and maybe look at the iPad with them and talk to some different coaches on the sidelines as well. Maybe that's different than talking on the headset. Like what'd you make of Eric Chenander? And they didn't really announce it or say anything. He just kind of quietly coached the game from the sidelines. I would assume that's probably going to, happen again this week. Why not? But what when you heard that or when you just think as a coach being on the sidelines, I know as an O-line coach, you were always on the sidelines. I don't know if you've ever coached a game from the box in your career, but just how different is the box from the sideline and how do you think that helped Chenander?
It's a lot different, especially as a defensive coordinator, because up top, you can see the whole field, right? You can see everything, and communication has got to be very good, right? So I could take it two ways. I think Chenander possibly wanted to get down and look at everybody in the eye. And when there's corrections being made, he wanted to handle it. He has that right as the defensive coordinator. He also must be feeling very good about the guys up top and the information that's coming down of what that coach in the box has to see, right? Everybody's assigned different things, right? So one guy's assigned for the D-line. Okay, one guy's assigned for this guy. One guy's assigned offensively, formations, where people act, things like that. So I think he probably feels very comfortable that he's getting great information from up top coming down below. And then I always think when you can look kids in the eyes, I think that is a different animal, right? When you look at, if you're making a correction and you look at you guys got it? Yeah, we got it. No, do you have it or do you not? And so you can see that in somebody's eyes, like either they're answering you because they just want to get out of the conversation or things are happening quick when not necessarily this game, but imagine a defensive coordinator is trying to make corrections from up top to below, and all of a sudden it's third down already. So now all your players that are on punt, they have to get up. They get up and they walk over to the sideline where punt team's going to take the field. So you're only, what is that? Let's go a minute. So you have a minute because those guys got to get up because you can't have a 10 on the field on punt. So it's just the way it is. And I kind of think what a great idea by them. It's just that's what he wants to do. Awesome. Some offensive coordinators like Dirk loved calling it from the field, because he wanted to be with the quarterback, right? Some offensive coordinators will not call it from the field. They want to see everything. And I think it takes different people and what you like, but I like the fact that Chenander wanted to get in there. Maybe he wanted to challenge some of those guys. He wanted to do it. And if he's going to do it all week, you might as well do it in the game too.
Well, we'll talk with Eric Chenander about that decision coming up at about 12:45. The live press conference will start at noon. Spencer Danielson will talk at noon. We'll get an update on Jaden Mickey's health condition. He was released from the hospital. Boise State sent out a statement yesterday that it sounds like it's good news. for Jaden Mickey, and we'll see what kind of details we get from Spencer Danielson. But that was a very scary situation. Happy to hear that he is recovering, and it looks like everything's going to be okay with him moving forward. But Spencer Danielson will talk at noon. We'll have Nate Potter at 12:30, Eric Shenander at 12:45, and we will put all of those live on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. So if you want to come on back at noon, we'll stream live the press conference with the Boise State coaches. Hey, I want to keep this discussion going and go to the offense in a second, but Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, thespateam.com, locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa, been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. If you're looking for a sauna, spa, pool table, dartboard, whatever you need, they got you covered online at thespateam.com. Hey, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. My family went to his big tailgate that he had before the game on Saturday. Fun times there. Appreciate Matt and his team. Great stuff. And Rain's family bought and sold our home using Matt, and it's tremendous stuff. Online at BauscherRealEstate.com. Everybody knows some realtors, but nobody will fight harder for you than Matt Bauscher. I can personally attest to it. Matt Bauscher, BauscherRealEstate.com. I know Johnny and Prater are out at the Ridley's in Kuna on Friday having fun. We appreciate Ridley's. Love that Kuna location. ShopRidley's.com is the location. ShopRidley's.com is the website where you can find a location near you. There's 13 of them in the state of Idaho, Magic Valley, Treasure Valley, McCall, surrounding states, almost 30 of them in all. When you just download that Skip app, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line at shopridleys.com. Transcompservice.com. You want to get into the trucking industry? Well, they can help you every step of the way at transcompservice.com. The paperwork, whether it's DOT, overweight, all the different stuff you need, they can help you get out there towing that first load in no time. It's a local company helping out folks all over the world at Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com. We heard one voicemail from Jesse. We have another one on the offense here. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail, folks. You don't need to hear me and Brad talk the whole time. If you have a comment that you'd like to express vocally instead of in the chat, leave us a voicemail anytime, day or night. Speakpipe.com/BNN, brought to you by our friends at Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, they've be covered online at Signature Roofing at mysignatureroofing.com. And Brad, I wanted to throw in the fine folks at 247 Sports with the game against Notre Dame this week. They know there's going to be a lot of interest, a lot of folks on the website, a lot of good traffic. So they've, for our site only, upgraded it to 50% off an annual VIP membership to BroncoNationNews.com. That's $5 a month. If you're on the fence right now, they're doing this. They don't do it very often because of the Notre Dame game. It's a big week for Boise State. They're giving 50% off this week only, a VIP membership to BroncoNationNews.com. So you want to read all of Nathan Carroll's analytical stuff that we're going to talk about here in a minute. You want to read Mike Prater's columns. You want to watch Ball Talk with Mike Sanford and Johnny. All of our benefits of being a VIP membership, the extra VIP message board. This is the week. Today's the day. Sign up now. $5 a month at BroncoNationNews.com. We'd love to have you jump in and support us. And if you're on the fence about it, this team's won 3 in a row, and we're having a lot of fun, with the coverage at BroncoNationNews.com. And you can now get that for $5 a month. If you make the switch today, this week only, take advantage of our 50% off deal at BroncoNationNews.com. All right, Brad, the offense, the running backs, you were mentioning them, and we were all talking about, I think I even asked you on the pregame show, who's going to get the first carry of the game. I mean, Dylan Riley had that huge game, but Sire Gaines was, a little banged up going into that game, and he's still, listed as RB1. He is RB1 in a lot of people's eyes, and I think it was kind of curious how the distribution of carries and everything was going to go in that game, and the snap counts, which again, we finally saw some 2-back sets. It might have even only been for one play, but we saw them put both running backs out there. They're trying different things. Sire Gaines does lead the team in snap counts. Now, Dylan Riley got the first snap and the first carry, I believe, to start the game. But in the end, Sire Gaines, 31 snaps. He got 12 carries for 69 yards, had 2 explosive runs, averaged 4.67 yards after attempt, and had a PFF grade of 70.4, which was the best of any of the running backs. Dylan Riley and Malik Sherrod actually tied with 26 snaps each in terms of the playing time. 16 carries for Dylan Riley for 46 yards, did not force a missed tackle, and had a 60.2 grade. Malik Sherrod also, as I said, 26 snaps. He only goes for 9 carries, but gets more yards, 49 yards, forced 3 missed tackles, had a 67.5 grade. So, it's kind of funny. Every week there's hot takes and he needs to be RB1 and all this, but based off the production, based off the yards, based off the analytical numbers, based off the snap counts, what Boise State says is their depth chart. Sire Gaines 1, Malik Sherrod 2, Dylan Riley 3 is pretty much what it was in that game, at least against App State. I know it's going to be a game-by-game type thing, but what'd you make of how they distributed the carries? Again, Dylan Riley actually had more carries, 16. Sire Gaines had 12. But Sire Gaines played more snaps and had more yards and graded out better.
Yeah, I think one of those is, remember, Sire Gaines had the 28-yard run. That helps his yards per carry, right, where Riley's longest was 6. So, I thought that the carries were divvied up fine. I think your difference between 4 carries, 16 to 12, right? But I think, Sire had the hot hand. Obviously, he was explosive at times in that game, and so I think it's right. I think they're right on track. I think that if you go with a hot hand, you go with a hot hand, and that's the way it's going to be. It could be totally opposite next week. And that's a good like Spencer said, it's a good problem to have, right? They've got a problem, but it's a good problem to have. And so when you can do that, and both of them are very good in pass protection. So I think it's just the way it's going to be. And I don't think it's a problem. I think it's actually a very good problem. But I also think as long as you're still rushing for 152 and the whole run game is going very well, I think you're fine. I think that the one thing is like if one's just constantly not getting the yardage and struggling, why is he still on the field? That's obviously they're not going to do it that way. This is a competition business, and I think it's week in and week out, and how you prepare is how the carries are going to go. And if you got the hot hand, we're going to give you the ball. If you don't, we're going to let somebody else carry the ball. When you got 2 tailbacks, that's the way it's going to be.
One more voicemail one to play, also from Jesse, talking about Maddox Madsen here.
Hey, it's Jesse again. Just wanted to bring up another thing. Earlier in the game, I saw Maddox was kind of favoring his knee a little bit. I wonder if that had to do with how much zip he had on the ball, but it just seemed like he was hurting a little bit on his knee. I just wanted to make sure that he's fully healthy for the Notre Dame game, but he looked really good at the end, and he definitely was getting in a groove. So, more power to him. I hope he stays healthy, and I hope he has this game against Notre Dame. That would be great for us. But holy cow, how about Quentin Brown? That guy is fast, and I was just watching him blow past all the defenders, and man, he's got that ability to he might be another Shakir in the making, just how he looked out there. I don't know about anybody else on here, but I'm pretty sure Quentin Brown's going to be the next big wide receiver. But man, Marshall, if he didn't drop that pass, he would have been gone. I don't think Marshall has a touchdown besides the first game this year, right? He's been so close to getting touchdowns, and he's just catches that one. I think that's a touchdown. There's nobody in front of him after he's running that way on that slant, but that was my opinion. But I don't think there was anything bad. Even special teams played really well today, besides that one punt return for that many yards.
All right, appreciate Jesse there. You get 90 seconds, and he went through 3 minutes there, 90 seconds, and still couldn't get his point across. But we appreciate you, Jesse. See you in the chat there as well. Great stuff. And again, leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/BNN. Quentin Brown, he got burned by I Show Speed, the YouTuber, on the live video when he was in town. He got burned. He was guarding. I don't know if you saw that, Brad. He was guarding him. I Show Speed ran a route and scored a touchdown, and everyone was giving Quentin Brown some crap all week, his teammates and everything, for on live, in front of 30,000 people on YouTube, got crushed for the score. Well, he came back, had a cool moment himself, and I loved it. He scored the touchdown. The helmet goes flying off, and as he's walking off the field, holding his towel with the blood, he's still firing up the crowd, as he's walking off. I thought that was pretty cool. His first career touchdown for Quentin Brown, the true freshman. And yeah, there's a lot of similarities to Cam Bates and some of these other receivers. He's just a speedy guy and does some great things, and his role is going to continue to evolve. But that's another story. The helmets kept coming off. I know Jaden Mickey's, it came off. I don't know if it had something to do. These were the new helmets they had just bought. They were brand new helmets, wore them one time for the front porch of Idaho game. I don't know if there was something to that. Maybe that's a question for Spencer today. There were 3 or 4 or 5 helmets that popped off at some point during the game, and that can obviously be scary, Brad. But I think that there's a lot there. Maddox Madsen did have the best best graded PFF game of his career, the best career passing yards of his career, and he had a great game. He was 25 of 37, 321 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 what they call big time throws, and he had a 91.6 grade from PFF for his game. And on passes of 10 plus yards in the air, and this is something we've talked about with them and maybe trying to push the ball down the field more, Brad, he had 14 throws in the air of 10 plus yards. He was 8 of 14, 163 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he, again, had 5 what they call big time throws. Previously, his best was 2. And pulling that number from Nathan Carroll's article, the PFF grades, snap counts, one of the many things you can get if you subscribe to BNN. So go subscribe, read the whole snap count and analysis from Nathan on the game. But overall, a lot to like from what you saw from Maddox Madsen.
No doubt. Played well. Played like the quarterback should, to be honest with you. I mean, he just said he's getting better. You know what I mean? I think you're seeing a little bit of, he's gone through a play calling change, right? So we got Potter calling it now. And if you really look at over the course of the game, like, South Florida is what it is, right? We don't need to move on. That's the first time really that Nate's called it. And, you got your quarterback, they got a gel, and then just better and better and better. And I think you're starting to see what this offense can do with Nate calling it and Maddox just really operating the offense like he does. And once again, they're throwing the ball deeper down the field. Okay, that presented a huge opportunity for this game, and you're seeing that through just double digits, right? Sayer and Malik. Oh, I'm sorry, no. What was the longest attempt? Yeah, 30. So Latrell had the 34. Okay, Chris Marshall had the 26. Then Ford had a long of 18.
Quentin Brown had 29.
Right. So you're looking at it more of an explosive offensive attack. They're getting the chunk plays, right? So now when you're getting those chunk plays, it's just helping that offense operate better. And 2, they're doing it through play action, drop back. They were 50% on 3rd down. So I think you're seeing him operate this offense at a high level right now. And I can expect that to change, or expect that not to change. But at that quarterback position, you're starting to see, I think he's got a little bit more zip on the ball right now. I think he's coming, he came off that whatever in Air Force, he missed a series or 2. And then, is he healthy? Is he hurt? Well, he's healthy. And so he threw some great balls, and I thought he operated the offense at a high level that is expected of him.
Yeah, I thought he had a great game. We don't have a ton of time left with you. I am going to bring Andy Rowe on in a minute, but not to waste your time, Brad. I'll just chat with Andy. I know you got an actual full-time job and you make some money there with game 1. But I wanted to get one quick thought from you on Notre Dame. I mean, we haven't mentioned it yet, but the game coming up on Saturday, and a lot of folks in the chat are talking about that. And somebody put in a comment here, Candid Trader, Boise State showed all the cleanup that was necessary to prove they at least have a real-world chance at beating Notre Dame. That might have been before Notre Dame went and got 56 points on Arkansas and got Sam Pittman fired. But the opening line at Circa, our friends at Circa, we have the spreads here over in the far right column, about halfway down. Notre Dame opening it as a 16-point favorite over Boise State. And a lot of people saying that might be a little too low, Brad, all things considered, 16 points. I think if Boise State lost by less than 20, you'd probably feel like it was an okay performance there. I don't know. A lot of Boise State fans are hoping it's not some 40-point blowout, but 16 points to spread. What's your early take on this matchup? And I know we talked about it. I think you had a recruiting trip there, right? A visit.
Yeah, I've been there.
But just for this program, for Boise State to get to be on NBC at 3:30 Eastern and play at Notre Dame, like it's a game that's only been on the schedule a couple years, but it's been talked about pretty much every day since it was planned. What's your take on this? And I just realized I have 2% on my battery here, so I'm going to go plug in real quick while you're talking. Boise State, Notre Dame on Saturday.
Challenge. It's a challenge. It's not, South Bend. I'm excited for everybody that's going to go. It's an unbelievable place. I don't consider it a whole big loud stadium from what I've heard with people that have actually been to a game there. I would say this, a fighting chance. Damn right. Boise State's got to fight. I just lay in the weeds. I hope I wish it was a 26-point favorite. I wish you just completely got a hand. Just let Notre Dame who's Boise State? Now, I think their head coach is going to do a good job to keep them focused on Boise, but don't give me that, Boise's going to get blown out. That's not the mindset of Boise State. Never have is, never will be. And if it is, then get out of the building. It's not, then you don't understand Boise State football, period. You're there to compete and to win the game. And so I think it's going to take a really big performance, especially defensively. They're back-to-back. So they put 56 up on, I think it was Purdue or something. And they just put 56 up on an Arkansas team that, like you said, their head coach has been let go. But they've had a tough schedule. Miami is a tough team. That was the lowest scoring game. The A&M defense rebounded versus Auburn. So that Texas A&M defense, is it good, or is Notre Dame's offense that great? The running back is, so this is reverse roles. I thought, obviously, Jeanty was the best tailback in the country last year by far, but Love was too. Now, I think Love is the best tailback in the country, and he is a big dude. So they're going to have to come in and play a very physical brand of football. And the other thing is, I haven't said this a whole lot yet. This is the ultimate game where you must start fast. You've got to start fast. You've got to hit them in the mouth and get sacks, have so much energy, just suck everything out of that stadium. And then, so it's like the opposite, right, of an Appalachian State or an Eastern. Like, you got to come in there and you got to set the tone immediately at home and dominate immediately, because you never want to give somebody, they've got hope now. Well, Boise State's doesn't come in with hope. They come in, I'm going to come in here and beat your ass. And so they need to have that coming in with a swagger. I don't mean penalties. I mean just play Boise State brand of football. And let's see what happens in the fourth quarter when Notre Dame's just shocked and going, okay, why is this happening? Look at the NIU game last year. NIU started fast and they got after them. Okay. Just because you're at Notre Dame, don't let the logo defeat you. It's Notre Dame. Okay. Hit them in the mouth. And then Notre Dame, it's a different atmosphere. It's a long travel. I don't know if everybody's staying in South Bend, but you guys are either going to Chicago. It's a long travel. I'm not sure where the players are staying.
They're staying like 45 minutes, I think, to the west or so. Like not quite Chicago, but kind of halfway or something.
So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, they had a longer bus ride from Air Force because they stayed in Denver. So
yeah, it will be.
I don't see anything like that. I just kind of go lucky. I hope we got a chance.
Yeah.
Well, no. You square up him in the mouth and you don't pay attention. You keep your head down, play Boise State football. And at the end of the day, in the fourth quarter, let the coaches figure out where they're at and what they got to do to win the game. And then as a player, you can finally look up and did we win or did we lose?
And I would say with the 3 wins in a row, you're feeling a little better if you're Boise State, kind of feeling like you're going in with some momentum. And also, maybe we'll talk to you, maybe figure out something for later in the week to get into this, but they played at Oregon last year and they also played Penn State last year. Like, going up against Notre Dame is not going to be like oh my gosh, we've never played a team like this before. I mean, it's Notre Dame. Like, I think and I know there's some new players on this team, but playing Penn State, playing Oregon, like, you've played in some big games within the last calendar year here that have to be a factor as well.
They've all played in big games on national television. And I'll tell you this, and I've been to both. Notre Dame, with like the fans and all that, it is not an Ashton State. It's not nearly as loud. It's not. People think when you're going into Notre Dame, it's like, oh my God, we're going to Notre Dame. It's a lot like teams coming into the blue, because the opposing head coaches, they always say something stupid like this. Hey, Boise State's only lost 7 times in the past how many years? Well, why would you put that even into your players' heads? Now they're thinking like, well, are we even going to beat these guys? I don't give a rat's ass if you're playing Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State. You go in, you hit them in the mouth, and win the game. And I think Boise State's got just as good of a shot as NIU or anybody else that's going to walk into South Bend with the right mindset. If you have the bad mindset, you're going to get boat raced.
Well, we appreciate you for coming on, Brad. We got our man Andy Rowe jumping on, and I don't want to waste any more of your time. So I don't know if you have any quick thoughts for Andy or vice versa, but we'll let you get back to selling those uniforms for game 1, and we'll chat with Andy here.
Yeah, have fun. Good luck. Have fun in South Bend. Have you ever been to South? I'm very intrigued. I can't wait to talk to people that have been to South Bend, and then when they walk away, what they think South Bend, what they thought it was going to be, and what it really is. You'll be surprised how there is not much of South Bend, and there is a very dangerous part of South Bend by the airport that I would not even go around.
Wish you would have told me that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you. I had to fly into South Bend to recruit a tight end when I was in Auburn. So we flew in privately to the Notre South Bend, and I had to drive an hour to see the tight end. But I went around there. I was like, this is not the South Bend I remember when I was in high school. So that he ain't too far off. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, Brad. Brad Bedell, appreciate him for jumping on. Andy Rowe, our title sponsor. How we doing, Andy?
Good. How you doing today, BJ?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I know Brad had some business to attend to, so he had to jump off a little bit early today. But appreciate you for jumping on. And I know a lot going on with row painting that we'll get to, but you're as big of a Boise State fan as there is, and one of the most knowledgeable too. I mean, 3 wins in a row. I mean, Demario Warren, we had a guy on earlier in the show leave us a voicemail saying he apologized and it's all back. I'm not sure I'm quite ready to say it's solved. I mean, it was Appalachian State, but against a team that did have some stats, it was nice to see the defense and the secondary step up.
I don't think I've ever said anything publicly I need to apologize for. I try not to do this anyway.
You're very respectful about it, yes.
The Twitter in my pocket when I'm having those moments in the stadium. Maybe I've had a cocktail or two, I have an opinion, but at the end.
I lost you, Andy. Your audio. Not sure if your AirPods went out or what. I don't hear it. Maybe not sure if that's just me or not, but I lost. Nope. Your AirPods may have gone out. Did you forget to charge them?
No, I think they're charged.
There you go.
This way.
That's better for me. Yep, sorry about that.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, what I was going to say is obviously you got to take the competition into consideration, but here's what I know about, the type of coaching I do in running a business. You can have somebody that's struggling and you can get after them. At a certain point, you can't just beat somebody to death with what they're not getting done right. At some point, you need something to celebrate. Sometimes when somebody's really struggling, it's that mantra, coach them in or coach them out. But when somebody's really struggling, you're looking for something to give them praise for. Well, super easy to find this weekend. So fantastic for the players, fantastic for Demario, for Chenander, the whole defense to be able to put something like that together, to have 2 pick sixes. I mean, somebody gave a stat earlier that goes back to 2014. We even had 2 interceptions in the same game. That blew my mind.
2 pick sixes.
Oh, 2 pick sixes. Okay. But still, I mean, what a massive thing. So I don't care who you're playing. At some point, you need to have a game like that where those guys have that success just to get their confidence up that they can do that. Sometimes that's the biggest difference. Now, they're not playing Appalachian State this week. So expectation as far as a fan goes, I'm not going there expecting a victory. But to Brad's point, those players better be, and they will be, because, Spencer will have them ready to go, and he'll have the right mindset. They're going in there to compete for the win and to dominate. But, what he said about Love is correct. You look back at common opponents last year in Oregon and in Penn State, watch those two slug it out last week. I think for me, the biggest thing that I see, it's not that we can't win games like that. It's that I love Dirk Cutter. I think he bailed us out several times, and I'm so grateful for it. But I think he tended to not have as much of, the trickeration part of our history kind of started with Hawkins and Peterson carried it forward. Cutter, I don't remember being a big trick play guy, but you definitely didn't see any of that. And I felt like that's what was missing. If we had a few of those things, you keep a team honest, and maybe if we had a few against Penn State, it would have made them play us a little bit differently. When you look at Oregon, as far as I'm concerned, we pretty much dominated that game over in Eugene. I mean, we played strong. And if not for those special teams, we've talked about that a million times. So that game could have been a very decisive victory, not just a victory. So it's not like we can't go in and win games like this, but we're not playing App State. That being said, I don't want to take away from what the guys did this last weekend. It was phenomenal. I saw a lot of great things. Obviously, you still see some things that you want to see cleaned up, but, to see those kids celebrate, those defensive guys celebrating in the end zone, what makes you happier than your cornerbacks and your linebackers dancing in the end zone because they just housed it for 6?
Any other, whether it was the running backs, Maddox Madsen had a career game. I know you, like I said, you analyzed this team as well as anybody. Any other thoughts just in general about this team or where they're at? 3 wins in a row. I mean, got to be certainly a much different feeling than when folks were getting on the plane heading back from South Florida.
Yeah, I don't think South Florida was a realistic. I mean, it is what it is. They got the victory. They got it in decisive fashion, but that game in my mind just as easily could have been us winning by 10 points or 21 points as far as that's concerned. I just don't feel like that was them, the momentum swing that they went through in that game. There's just too many things they didn't quite have worked out. It's one of the reasons why you look at, and it's why a lot of teams start with cupcake games at home, for that game instead of traveling really far. It's nothing against South Florida. They're a good team. They beat Florida. So, that's a solid outing there. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't feel like we're somewhere vastly different than I thought we were going to be going into the Notre Dame game. I wish we were 4-0. We're not, but the last 3 games have shown what we're capable of. Of course, we're going to miss Jeanty. He is, generational talent. We started to see that in the NFL yesterday. But, you got great running backs. You got a great O-line. Everything is there. I'm concerned, even as great as it was to see the guys the defense have the day that they had, I don't know that they can pull that off against Notre Dame. So to Brad's point, they got to get out, start early. And I think they're going to have some tricks up their sleeve. If you just keep running an offense where they know what's coming, I'm sorry, but they're bigger, stronger, deeper team. And so you got to have some advantage. Why did we beat Oklahoma? Yeah, we played a lot of really good football, but we had those trick plays, So I think that's part of who we are, and I'd like to see that come back.
Andy Rowe, our title sponsor with rowepaint.com, roepaint.com. You see the logo there in the corner of the screen. All your painting needs. We've had the concrete coatings done at our house. We've had the some interior touch-up on some painting. They even fixed some drywall for us after we put some can lighting in. Tremendous work. Highly recommend it. And it's the perfect time of year as the fall here to get some of those projects done that you have thought about doing for a long time. And hopefully, folks, you will hit up Andy and their team at rowepaint.com. And Tequila Gus saying, nice shirt, Andy. So always looking dapper there. As we wrap this up, Andy, I know you're going to South Bend. Like I said, this has been a game that a lot of people have talked about, looked forward to for a long time. I guess now I need to change my hotel away from the airport. But just sounds like going to be a lot of Boise State fans there. I keep seeing, charter bus and things pop up from Chicago and tailgate parties and all this stuff. Friday night could be fun. We don't have an official kind of BNN party, but wherever you're going to be at, let us know. And we'll hopefully I know there's some alumni events and things. We'll try to get around and I plan to kind of hopefully get out for a little while, but just your thoughts, man, for this program to be on NBC. You talk about the Oklahoma game. And obviously you've watched this, program for a long time, but to get on NBC at 3:30 Eastern on a Saturday and to play Notre Dame in that stadium, pretty cool moment for the program, kind of regardless of what happens here.
Yeah, it's a bucket list for sure. We were trying to do this as a family trip, and as I was planning, I was like, oh my gosh, between the cost, the travel, there's so much going on, and I got to jet to a conference right after it. So we ended up bagging it, and I told Jenny, I said, sorry, this is one of those bucket list ones I got to go to. Fortunately, I have a wonderful, beautiful wife that supports me and knows how much I love college football. So I'm going to hop on one of those direct flights and get right in there on Friday so we can have a chance. As far as hotels go, mind blown when I was looking at what it was going to cost. And so we ended up spending a pretty penny just to be close to the stadium because I felt like, well, I've come this far, might as well make sure I'm walking distance. All the hotels that were even reasonable were like an hour away, 45 minutes away. I couldn't believe how hard it was to be able to get close to the stadium. But yeah, touchdown Jesus, the history, Rudy. I grew up watching Rudy. I used to play Rudy in my headphones on runs. I would think about it when I went through hard times, that scrappiness, and that's such a match to Boise State and our blue collar mentality. And so just to go to that stadium's on the bucket list, what better time than when Boise State is playing there? So as a fan, of course, you always hope that you can compete. But even if we don't come away with a victory, I think the experience of being at Notre Dame, playing in that setting, especially coming off that SEC game where I got to see how many, fans, somebody posted up here, you put up 80,000. And so I don't know if they sell out every game. I would assume that they do, but I'm not sure. But yeah, to be on NBC playing Notre Dame on a Saturday, as a Boise State fan who used to watch, listen to Big Sky games on my Walkman because they were blacked out here in the Valley and I was out mowing lawns listening to the game, like to think you're going to play Notre Dame on a Saturday on NBC. So sometimes, we're guilty of always looking forward, which is great. We have to be, but you take a moment. This is kind of one of those moments for me, like, wow, look how far we've come, and we're gonna go play Notre freaking Dame. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm going to have that feeling, and then I'm going to have the same feeling when Boise State basketball's in the Maui Invitational come November, where it's like, all right, Lahaina Civic Center, I've been watching this thing for years. Like, I mean, I might have chills walking into Notre Dame Stadium. It's going to be pretty cool on Saturday. Can't wait. Andy, I know we'll see you there. Appreciate you as always. And I know a lot of great stuff going on right now. If folks have any painting projects out there, now's the time to get it done.
Yeah, there's one thing that's worth checking out is our social media pages. In addition to getting some comedic content from Buster and my son, you'll get a chance to see some of the projects we're doing. We just did a project for the McCall School District, and it's really worth looking at. Most people have no idea we can restore concrete without it being jackhammered out and replaced. So if you look at that video, you'll see what old, beat up concrete from snowmelt looks like coming back to life. And most people are surprised at the cost of it. So the fall is a great time to be doing that. If you got beat up concrete that you don't want to get rid of, and you don't want to go as far as putting a coating on like you do in the garages, it's a nice little project. So we're checking out our social media.
And you said the painter for a day is a big project as well. You can hire a painter literally for 8 hours. They'll just paint whatever you need done in the house. You give them the paint, and they'll get to work on whatever you have. So I would take advantage of that as well. Andy, we really appreciate your time as always, man. Thank you for your continued support of Bronco Nation News, and looking forward to seeing you in South Bend, man. Should be a fun trip.
Sounds good. Thanks, BJ.
There he is, Andy Rowe, truly a great person, and appreciate him and his support of Bronco Nation News literally from day one, and appreciate, Rowe Paint for sticking with BNN literally from before day one. He's one of the first ones that said, yeah, I want to be a part of this, and, it's here we are. There's his logo in the top left corner of the screen as our title sponsor going on 4 years or whatever it is now, and so if you guys enjoy these free shows and watching this stuff on YouTube, whether it's our major sponsors at the bottom of the screen, or whether it's obviously our title sponsor, rowpaint.com, and Andy, please support the sponsors, folks, and keep this show free of charge. Keep our pre- and post-game shows coming, and the coverage that we're providing is only hopefully going to get better, and that's with supporting the sponsors and making this thing work. So if you have a painting project, don't mess up your shoes. Don't mess up that nice shirt. Oh, I can get it done without getting any paint on it. No, let the professionals handle it, and they've done work on our house multiple times. Great process, start to finish, with coming out for the estimate and walking you through the project and making sure it's done perfectly before they leave. I really do recommend it. And those concrete coatings are amazing. We've done it twice on our garage and our back patio at our old house, and I can't recommend it enough. So we appreciate Andy and Andy Rowe and rowpaint.com. I did see a tweet, by the way, about Dan Mullen. Mike Irwin is a sports reporter for KNWA KARK in Arkansas since 2012. He's got 30,000 followers. This is a legit account here, reporting that Dan Mullen quote once. Let me see here. What's the exact word? Dan Mullen. Going with the exact one. Lobbying hard to get the job at Arkansas. So could UNLV be in search of another coach at some point? We'll see. They consider Petrino a long shot. He says majority of boosters aligning around Lashley, who is likely not going to take the job. Dan Mullen, 4-0 at UNLV, is lobbying hard to get the job. Built MSU into an SEC winner, was winning at Florida, but ticked off two powerful boosters there. We'll see. He says, from a single booster I know who supports Mullen, has built an SEC program from near the bottom to the top, has always been impressed with the Arkansas fan base, really wants the job and believes it's perfect for him. Interesting. Boosters figure he'll be overlooked, so maybe he won't get the look. But SEC coach in the past, doing things at UNLV, we'll see what happens with Dan Mullen, but 4-0 for UNLV and get into conference play. We will find out the game time, by the way, today for the New Mexico game. As someone that has Cole Swindell tickets that night, maybe we get lucky and get a 10 a.m. game or a 1 p.m. game or something. Not expecting that, but certainly would be nice if they decide that New Mexico playing well and find an earlier spot in the day. Not expecting that, so maybe we'll have a raffle or something where we'll find someone to give the Cole Swindell tickets to, but rough bad beat on that being the same night. But that is what we'll get today is the game time for the New Mexico game on the 11th. And again, 10 o'clock, we'll have, 12 o'clock. It's already 10, 11. 12 o'clock noon, we'll have the Spencer Danielson press conference. We should get an update on Jaden Mickey's condition and should get some more information there. The team is leaving on Thursday for Notre Dame. I am leaving on Thursday for Notre Dame. A lot of the media and stuff are as well. So we'll have Friday's show from Indiana. It'll actually be from Indianapolis on Friday because we're doing the show. Well, we may drive up there early in the morning. We'll see. But we are flying into Indianapolis Thursday, or I am flying Thursday into Indianapolis, and then we'll wake up Friday and drive up to South Bend. But the normal media schedule this week, we'll have the press conference today at noon, and then normal interview Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. We'll talk to Spencer on Thursday before we head out. So it should be a normal media schedule, even though the team is leaving on Thursday for South Bend. But going to be a fun week. Looking forward to the game. And as I said earlier, the nice folks at 247 Sports are giving a special deal for this game, 50% off all week. So if you're on the fence, $5 a month. You see it going across the bottom of the screen. All our VIP content, Nathan Carroll's analysis, Mike Prater, myself. You get the VIP message board. There's going to be some recruiting news coming for Boise State. They're getting a couple of commits, I believe. News should be coming out on that this week. And Chris Van Sickle covers recruiting for us, does a tremendous job. All the recruiting coverage, interviews with the recruits, all that good stuff that's coming this week is going to be behind that paywall. So jump in now. Be ready to go. $5 a month is all it costs. You pay a one-time fee. You're done for the year. And we really appreciate that. If you would want to jump in now and subscribe and help us out. A big week, a lot of content coming ahead of the Notre Dame game. So hopefully you'll find a way to subscribe and be ready to go as the news continues to break this week on the recruiting front and on all the other fronts as we get you set. And certainly not going to want to miss Ball Talk on Wednesday with Sanford and Johnny getting you set for the Notre Dame game on Saturday. So appreciate you guys. Go subscribe. Thanks for supporting Bronco Nation News. Going to be a fun week getting ready for the Notre Dame game on Saturday. And of course, Bronco Nation News will be in South Bend, and we'll have pregame coverage, postgame coverage, in-game coverage. But first, we'll get you set all week. We'll do it 9 a.m. every morning here at BroncoNationNews.com. We'll have interviews and practice coverage throughout the day, other stories. So keep checking the message boards at BNN. Jump in the discussion there. Even if you can't afford a subscription, we do have a free board in there where you can chat for free and hang out with fans. And so if you're unable to subscribe, we'd still love to have you jump in there in the message boards and hang out and subscribe. If you are a member, we'd love to have you. Thank you for that as well. And that VIP board is where we dive into some more of the recruiting news and a little more tidbits and things we're hearing. So there is value in the VIP message board as well for subscribers. So appreciate you guys. Thanks to all of our subscribers. Don't forget Jackson's, the 49-cent fountain drink today at Jackson's, thanks to Latrell Caples getting that touchdown. So get on out to Jackson's today. Get that 49-cent any size fountain drink. Tell them you heard about it on Bronco Nation News, and we appreciate you. I'll certainly be heading there shortly to get one myself. So have a great day. See you in about a little over 90 minutes. We'll have that Spencer Danielson press conference live at noon on Bronco Nation News. We'll get the live stream going about 11:55 on our YouTube channel. So head on over to YouTube, refresh your page at about 11:55 or whenever we go live, and we'll see you soon. Bronco Nation News, big week coming up. Going to be fun. BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.
Bronco Nation will not score. Jackson pours. Each game I score a touchdown, head to Jackson's on Monday for a 49-cent fountain drink with Let's Go rewards. And don't forget your free banana, Jackson's. Let's go.
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.